right, so I'm going to go ahead and prime my lips with this Emile Cordon Luxurious Miracle Lip Balm. And this one here is called the Moroccan Mint. And they are simply divine. I love them. And my lips get really dry in the winter because we go dry to cold. So I'm just going to, It has a lovely smell. So I'm just going to apply that just to lube my lips up because I'm going to be wearing a matte red lipstick, all right? So, yeah, let's get started. We are going to do a holiday look. I received some cosmetics from Sam Marcel, and this company was very generous. They sent me an extra highlighter, extra eyeshadow palette, mascara, and a lipstick to put in my 100,000 subscriber giveaway. And that video is coming. You've either seen it or it's coming, so stay tuned. All right, so we are going to do a holiday look. So first, I am going to put on the Hollywood Flawless Filter in number 4 by Charlotte Tilbury. We want to make sure we have a beautiful glow around the holidays. Unless you do not like a glow, then you can skip this part and just use a really good primer because you want your holiday look to last. Yes, you do. I love the holidays. We don't really go out much during the holidays, but I still love the whole feeling of it. We don't go out for New Year's Eve anymore. We are too old. I would rather just enjoy people at our home or at their home than go out into a nightclub or a busy restaurant and you know, so, but I do love the whole feel of the holidays. You can see that gives a beautiful, beautiful glow. And the difference between the 3 and the 4, the 3 is just slightly on the pink side versus a beigeier. This is the 2 of them together, okay? And you can see this is the 3, which is just a little bit on the pinkier side, and this is a little bit warmer. I love them both, okay? All right, so I'm going to stick with the Ilia foundation, and I'm going to try it today with something other than my Beauty Blender or my Sonia Kashuk sponge. I'm going to try it with my Artís 8 brush. And this is a beautiful foundation for aging skin, and the color I am wearing is Ilia Salina. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, and you don't need a lot of this. A pump will really take you a long way, okay? So I just have a pump on my hand here, and that is the color. And I'm gonna go ahead and dot this on my face. Now what this will do, if you're somebody that likes a little more coverage, this is not going to be the foundation for you. You may want to try the Lawless. Okay, so I'm just going to work this in, and I am telling you, this is a beautiful foundation for aging skin, or if you're someone that just likes to have a little something something on your skin, this is a perfect foundation, and it's cruelty-free and vegan. And the Salina is a perfect color for me. I try very hard to just match my foundation to my skin versus trying to create something that is not there. So I don't really have to run it down my neck because it is almost an absolute perfect match. And I think because it is the holidays, we're going to go with just a tad more. I'm just putting a second layer so we can see how it looks with the Artís brush. And I'll take whatever's left on my hand and work it into the Artís brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and just swirl it around, bring it right to the edge, up and around. You can bring it right over your eyelid if you want. With this look, I want to keep the glow, okay? I don't want to make it matte. Now, if you like a matte look, go right ahead, okay? So that is the base of my foundation and my primer. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to use a concealer. And the one I'm going to use is not here, so hang on for a second. Okay, I was going to use my Dermablend Cameo concealer, but I left it in Florida. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Tarte. Now the Tarte is way too much of a concealer for me, so I put like a just the tiniest, tiniest little drop of this. And so I massage it and really warm it up in my fingertips, okay? And then I'm going to just pat it on underneath the eye. And I will bring it down just slightly. I'm not going crazy with the V. And we're just laying the foundation. It's all about the eyes and lips today. Okay, so there's my foundation, my primer, my concealer. So what I want to do now is I want to just lightly put a dusting of powder on this, but I don't want to flatten the look out because it's the holidays. So I am going to use the La Mer powder on one side, and then I have been looking for a dupe because the La Mer powder is very expensive. And this is the old La Mer powder. I also have the new version of it, and I have that down in Florida. But the reason why I'm using the old version is because I felt it had just a tad bit more glow to it than the new one. But I found a drugstore dupe. It is by the brand Flower, and it is their Miracle Glow Satin Finishing Powder. I found this at Walmart, and I'm just going to open it up. And I'm going to just tap some of it in the lid, and I'm going to do one side. However, this will not be used underneath my eyes, okay? So under my eyes, I have to have something that's a little bit more matte, because if I put anything that has a glow under my eyes at my age, of course, we are going to see it accentuate the lines. So I'm going to go ahead in with the Charlotte Tilbury. And I am just going to take a sponge. It's not a damp sponge. I'll just take a dry sponge. It's a Sonia Kashuk dry. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that powder. And I want to touch underneath my eyes before I powder. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dab that on. I've gotten used to the smell of this powder. And it's not too bad under the eyes. And we're just going to touch the other side and warm up that concealer again, so that we blend it in all of the lines underneath. And we're just going to go ahead and place that powder. Okay, so now I'm going to take the powder. I'm going to use my La Mer brush, okay, for the La Mer side. Okay, so for the Flower side, I'm going to use the powder brush from Sephora. I love this brush, absolutely love it. And I just put some in the lid, and I'm going to go ahead and just work it into that brush. Really work it in. You don't want it just laying on the tip. You want to really work it in and then tap it off. And I'm going to go ahead, and on this side, I'm going to place that powder. And I'm just going to sweep it. I'm in need of a dye job. Okay, so it leaves behind a beautiful glow still, all right? So that is the Flower side. I'm telling you, this is such a good dupe for the La Mer powder. So if you're someone who has been lusting after the La Mer powder and your budget just does not allow it, go try to find the Flower Satin Finishing Powder, okay? And it has a miracle glow to it. All right, so now I'm going to take the La Mer brush and the La Mer powder, and I'm going to put the same amount on the brush. So I have packed it up, and now I'm going to really work it into the brush, and I'm going to tap it off, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply that all over. If you look at these side by side, you cannot tell the difference, my friends, okay? So just a little dupe tip for you. I can't find dupes for everything. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the Sam Marcel shadows, okay? And these are really pretty. I've used these a couple times. So today's look, again, I want to keep it holiday-ish. I'm going with a very strong lip today, so I don't want my eyes to compete. So we're going to have our eyes in. I've done several looks like this in the past, but always more of a matte. So this has more of a satin finish, this palette. And it really has some beautiful, beautiful shades. I'll let you take a look-see. And 3 of these were sent to put in my giveaway. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the cream first. And they do all have names, but I'm just going to point them out. And I'm going to go ahead and just pack that on the lid, the whole lid. And then I'm going to move it up. I'm going to pick up a little bit more, These are nice shadows. I've worked with them several times now. And I took it to Florida with me and I used it a lot. I actually have another tutorial that I did in Florida. It was just a casual, fun kind of day. But I will go ahead and probably edit that and put it up anyway. It'll be a little repetitive because I didn't know if I was going to do this tutorial. But I decided it's time for some holiday looks. Okay, same thing. Okay, so we just have a base down now. So I think I'm going to go in with the Morphe M511 brush. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick up a very, very, very small amount of this right here, this color. Just a small amount. We don't want a strong color for this look. So I'm going to tap that off, and then I'm actually going to touch my hand with it. And what I want to do is just kind of carve out a little bit of a crease, not a strong one, just enough to give me some definition. And I'm just going to feather that color out throughout the crease and up. So you'll see I'm just getting a little definition now. So I want to pick up and work in layers for this. And doing this look, if you have this palette, you can use either the brown rust tone that I'm using, or you can go into the plum shade. Just keep it where you're lightly applying this color, okay, until you have it where you want it. Light pressure with the brush. Very light pressure. Remember, hold your brush down to the end if you cannot control your pressure this way, because if you do it this way, you'll press more. If you hold it further back, you will be able to control the pressure. And you just want to really focus it in the crease and then just lightly, as if you're just flicking it lightly over the lid. Okay, so you'll see you just have a subtle hint of color that's different from this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so there we have just a slight amount of color right through the crease, and then I've just lightly feathered to really soften that out. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this beautiful, it's an in-between. This one is a cream, this is yellow, this is more of a pinky peach. I'm going to take that and I want to lay some of that down right on the lid. Just to really make that pop. And I'm going to do a light sweeping action. Pick up some of that color again on this side. And I'm using the Tom Ford number 11 brush for this. It's a nice flat brush that allows you to really clean it up right here. Because you don't want to go into the crease where you just built all that up. You just want to really add that color there. Okay, so we have really made the lid pop out. So now instead of doing the norm with a dark brown or something like that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move into this plum. Now with the plum, I want to pretend I'm using it as a liner. So you need to find a really tight, I'm not a liquid liner girl. At this point, you could use liquid liner if you want. I'm just not into liquid liner. So I'm going to take this brush here is by a Hakuhodo. Michele from MakeupMLC gave me this a long time ago. But it's actually an eyebrow brush. It's to place the eyebrow. But it's so dense and so thin that it's perfect for those of us who want to really create the illusion of having an eyeliner on but not really using a liquid. So I'm going to go in and tap into that plum shade right on the end here, and I'm going to just really build up that brush. I'm going to tap it off because I don't want any fallout. I want as little fallout as possible. So now I'm just going to touch this brush along my lash line. I'm just placing it. And for me, I have to have a mirror very close up for this. But if you're someone that doesn't, lucky you. Okay, so I want to tap that off, and I'm going to just continue along. I'm actually pressing right into my lashes, because I just want this to be a really fine line. And I'm taking it all the way to the edge, right to where my tear duct actually starts. You can see how it's building up already. And just work in slow motion for this. If you're somebody that's just really conquering this, it's going to be too much for you to just try to zoom along like the young girls do. So just really take your time and just really stay close to the lash line and build it up to the intensity that you want, okay? And I think and you'll see, using purples and plum shades with a red go really well together. So this is just a little twist on it. So I want to get in here, and this is where I have to be really careful because I don't want to get it all over everything. And I just press, baby pressing. So you can see I have built up a line that's very different from this side, okay? So now, and notice I was working with the brush. It does have an angle. The angle was in when I was working this way. So now I want to do that little flick on the end. So I'm going to turn that so that angle is on the outer part. And I'm going to just really stay close to the lash line here and really just fill it in. And you can make this as thick as you want. I don't like it real thick. And then when you get right to the end, you'll see how it looks there. When you get right to the end, you want to just take your brush right to where your lash ends, and you want to just kind of create the illusion of the wing. So that's what we're looking at, okay? So then, and that was just placing it right on the outer edge of my lash and then angling it up so that it meets the end of my eyebrow, okay? So now I want to build that up just like you would a cat eye, and just join it. So now you have a beautiful cat eye liner. And it also gives you that old Hollywood feel, which I happen to like, but I don't like liquid liners. So I do it this way. And notice it's taking me a while to do this. I'm not rushing this. You can rush every other step, but you can't rush that. Now, if you want to create your flick to be a little bit more on an angle, a little bit more on the upswing, you would just build it up, and then remember, pat, pat, pat. You'll sweep in, but then you want to just pat everything. So I've built it up now on the edge. So this is what we're looking at. Okay, and now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eye. So that is pretty much the look for the eyes. Now, you can take a little bit more of that brown, now that you have your liner on, and you can see, take a little bit more, just touch lightly into that, tap it on your hand, because you just want to be playing with a small amount of color here. You don't want a lot, and just really build it up on the outer edge here. And then just sweep and give it a nice smooth look. Okay, so we have just added a little bit more, and then we're just sweeping it to really soften the lines. Same thing on this side. So now I'm going to take that flat brush again, okay, the Tom Ford number 11, and there is this pretty rose tone. I'm going to take a little bit of that on the tip of this brush, and I don't want to smash this brush into it. I want it to just be on the tip. I want to touch it onto my hand, and then I need to get close for this. So I want to just add a little bit of this right to the outer edge, just to give it a pop of color and really accentuate the edge. Just a tiny bit, touch it on your hands, and then we're just going to, you're not doing anything but adding just a little bit into the outer edge, just to give it a little bit of a highlight effect. And then you want to take a fluffier brush, and you want to just soften that because you don't want to see that line, but you want to know that it's there, but you don't want to see where it stops and goes. So the next step, it's very important that you tight line. So I'm going to lift my eye and I'm just going to tight line, and I'm going to rub against the lashes, and what this will do is it'll just bring it all together for you. There you go. So you can see the difference in the two eyes. It just adds a little bit more sultriness to the eye. I know my tutorials are always so long, but I just don't want you to miss anything. I just want you to really understand how to work with your aging face, and how just some little tips will really help you. Okay, so there you see how it makes the eyes pop without it being too much. My contacts are rolling around now. Okay, so now it's time to do the brows, and I'm going to stay on camera for this, but I'm probably going to fast forward. So I'm just going to take a spoolie and I'm going to brush them up and make sure my brows are well groomed. I'm using the usual suspects, which would be Anastasia Brow Wiz. So let me get the 5-time, and we'll just go right ahead. I stay on the top, fill in where it is. Okay, so now we're going to move on to contouring, and I'll do the lashes and then my hair, of course, and everything will fall in place. I'm going to use a Charlotte Tilbury. I love this. This is the Filmstar Bronze Glow. I'm going to go ahead and use the bronzer, and I'm going to use it with this MAC 135 brush. And I'm just going to pick some of it up, and I want to just soften the cheek area. Okay, so we're doing the same thing. Now I want to just warm it up slightly above. I'm going to take this and we're just going to run it along the jaw just lightly. Okay, so that is the bronze. Now I'm going to do a tiny bit of contouring, and I'm going to use the Dior. If you have this Dior palette and you don't have the Sam Marcel eyeshadow palette, this could be used. You could place this on the lid, this could go in the crease, and then just a tiny bit of this could accentuate the outer part, and then you could use this brown here as the liner. So you don't have to stick to just contouring for this, but I'm going to. Okay, all right, so now I want to take a brush, and I think I'm going to use just a soft Wayne Goss brush. These two are flat, these two have a slight shimmer to them. So I'm going to pick up just a small amount, and I'm going to tap it on my hand, and now I want to create just a little bit of a contour here. I used to have one all by itself, but now, no more. Okay, you see how that just contours my cheek slightly. Gives me a little. So now I want to just sculpt out my jawbone a little bit. And because I'm losing definition throughout here, I want to go ahead and really sharpen that up. I apply most of the color here, and then I sweep it down. And then you want to make sure that you're really blending it well down. And if you look, you'll see that it gives the illusion of having a stronger jawline. Okay? Okay, I'm going to go in with this Milani Romantic Rose blush, and I'm just going to tap lightly. I'm using the same brush I just used. It's the Wayne Goss. And I want to just place some color on my cheek. I don't want to come in here too much, but I do want to slightly build up my cheekbone. And I just want to do this softly. By picking a nice loose brush, you actually get a lighter application. That's why you'll see that I'm building it up. And I just want to go ahead, and I'm not really drawing it way back. I'm really focusing that blush right on the outer apple of my cheeks, not the inner apple. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add some highlight. And this is the Luxurious Highlight Palette from Sam Marcel. And you'll see that it has several different shades, which I swatched in another video. So I'm going to use this brush. I'm loving this brush that I bought from Sephora. And it is their featherweight blending brush. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use Door, which it's more of a golden highlight. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up some of that color. I'm going to tap it off. And now I want to really, now with the highlighter, this is important. If you have lines underneath your eyes, you do not want to go up near your eye. So my lines start really up here and right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my highlight right on the cheekbone. And I'm not taking it where it's over the blush, but it's highlighting on the blush, okay? So just sweeping that all the way up. And you can go all the way up with this and around, but stay away from your wrinkles because it will accentuate the wrinkles. And then the more you sweep it, the prettier it becomes. So there you have it. That's what it looks like. Okay, now you can also, you can highlight your brow bone, even with this look, because it's the holidays. So we're just going to sweep that color over the brow bone. And it just really brings it out. You can also do above your lips, which I am not going to do because I have way too many lip lines for that. So I'm just really placing it in the high points of my cheek. And then you can do above the eye here a little bit. But remember, not too much because I have really deep lines here and that's only going to accentuate it, okay? All right, so that is the finished look. So of course, I want to make sure that everything is blended nicely. So I'm just going to go in with a fan brush and really make sure that I have a soft line over my cheek area. Okay, so for the lips, we are going very strong and bold on the lips because it's the holidays. And because it is a red matte, it's not the perfect color for me, but it is the one they sent me. It is a very beautiful shade, but I am going to go ahead and now I want to take off just the excess of that lip balm, and I'm going to go ahead and just take the La Mer brush and do a quick sweep over my lips with the powder. And then I use Cherry by MAC. I'm not sure this color is still around, but it's the one I have. I actually have more reds, but I left them in Florida for the winter. So we're going to use this one. Okay, so that is what the liner will look like, and we're going to go ahead with the lipstick. Now it is a matte, so the matte you can apply with a brush or you can go like this. And this is a pinkier red. I find with a matte red to stretch the lip or do this slightly where you really move the lip lines around, you can actually fill them in so you don't see any gaps. And there you have that. That's a beautiful, beautiful red. Beautiful. Okay, so now this video is getting way too long. I just can't, I can't help it. I just can't help it. I'll cut it down as much as I possibly can. So I'm going to go in with a lash curler now and apply my mascara. Okay, so I curled the lash and I'm going to go in with a Sam Marcel mascara. I love it. Love, love, love this mascara. So we're going to really press it into the root. When you're wearing a liner and you're not going to wear false eyelashes, that is important. And I'm not a false lash girl. So we're just going to really work on the outer part of those lashes. I really like this mascara. It gives really, really, really full lashes. Now when you're wearing a liner and you're not going to wear the false eyelashes, you need to really build up those outer lashes. And I'll touch on the top of the lashes and then just really work with the tip of the brush to separate them and spread them so that they're following the line of the liquid liner or the powder liner that we created. And make sure you get all your baby lashes. This brush makes it very easy to do. And then I'm going to let that layer dry. It's looking lovely. I love the holidays. Okay, we're going to go ahead and curl this side. Okay, there is 2 coats of the mascara and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put anything on the bottom lashes. If you want to, go right ahead, but I love the cleanness and I actually think it takes age off the eye. So now, and that is the face. So I'm going to go take my hair out and I will be right back with the finished look. I went ahead and added these gorgeous earrings that I found at TJ Maxx. Really play up your earrings according to your outfit. If you're wearing all black, something really with a lot of crystal to it or just a lot of bling bling is beautiful. If you're someone that just likes a more subtle, you can go with a solid color earring or something like this. I just think this is absolutely beautiful, especially if you were wearing a beautiful winter white outfit. Oh, this would be incredible. And it just all goes along with the look. And if you keep your hair very simple, clean, and elegant, it really lends itself to a beautiful holiday look. Of course, you know that I also go big hair all the way, but I have to pick and choose what I want to do. If I'm going to really play up my lips to be really bold, I have to keep my hair very sleek and feminine and glamorous so that I don't take it to the streetwalker look. Because if I really did my hair all up and I have big lips on, big earrings, I take it to streetwalker look, okay? So we don't want that, especially during the holidays. All right, my friends, so thanks for stopping by. Let me know below what type of look you like to wear for the holidays and if you'll be trying this and if that little liner tip is something that appeals to you, because I know with age it's very hard to control a liquid liner, and I for one do not care for the look of liquid liner on myself because I think it looks too harsh. Don't forget to subscribe. We are living life here. Go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous. And thank you to Sam Marcel for sending me your beautiful, beautiful cosmetics and also for gifting me 3 extra ones for my 100,000 subscriber giveaway. All right, my friends, that's it. Bisous.